Well, here's a story I bet will catch your attention. We had a couple of First Coast News employees who saw anglers reeling in what looked to be bonnethead sharks while they were fishing at Jack's Beach over the weekend. Eliza Powell is on your side tonight answering the biting question, is this normal?
Just this weekend, bonnethead sharks were dancing on the ends of handfuls of fishing lines. But is this unusual? Take a look at this photo of a fisherman this weekend. He caught a bonnethead shark on Neptune Beach. I asked Captain Kevin Favor, a local fisherman, if this is rare.
It is the norm. Yeah, absolutely it is. They're basically a migratory fish, so they're showing up with the warmer water.
Bonnetheads are one of the most common shark species caught. They can be pretty easy to catch off our beaches and other waterways.
They're really a shallow water shark. They don't mind getting in the shallows. As a matter of fact, we see a lot of them in the intercoastal.
Bonnetheads, with their distinct shovel-shaped head, are members of the hammerhead family. And though popular to catch, little is known about how they fare after being released. That could be changing with new research being conducted now. In October, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration awarded a grant to Georgia Southern University to study how well bonnetheads survive fishing interactions.
They absolutely pack a punch.
But Captain Favors also noticed when catching them,
if you're gentle with them, you can literally pinch them right behind the neck, take the hook out, and remove the hook.
More protective measures for both humans and sharks have also been put in place this past July. Florida law now requires anglers to take an online shark fishing course and get a permit. Bonnethead sharks aren't too interested in people, but Captain Favor says because they do like swimming in shallow waters, if you are swimming and happen to see some bait fish around, use some common sense and head on up to shore. You wouldn't want to accidentally be mistaken for lunch. In Jacksonville Beach, Eliza Powell, First Coast News, on your side.